Percussion Ensemble, operated by Charles Wesselkamper. Devisey Strings, LLC, operated by Shelley Matthews. Eddie Achmeching, operated by Edward Achmeching. The Girling Mutt Duo, operated by Ingrid Elizabeth Caparelli Gerlin. Jerome Ali. Kiora Michelle and Company Entertainment, operated by Carlicia Kiora Michelle Newton. Mark Pross, Simon Rhythmic Productions, operated by Marlon Simon. Sincerely Yours Music, operated by Melvin Johnson. Paul English Music, Rankin Peters Music. Bob Chadwick Trio, operated by Robert Chadwick. And Tony Henry Music. Nonprofit corporations, Apollo Chamber Players, ARS Lyrica Houston, Axiom Quartet Inc., and Trio Orions. Corporations, Blonde Violin Productions, LLC, Entertainment Connect, LLC, Carte Blanche Music, LLC, Mercury Chamber Orchestra, Inc., Celero Flamenco, LLC, Musica in Partnership, Mystery Loves Company for the Houston Airport System. Ordinance amending Ordinance number 2018-891 to increase the maximum contract amount with Bayside Printing, Inc. Item 39, ordinance approving and authorizing contract between City of Houston and TD Snow Removal Corporation, doing business as Top Dog Services. Item 40, ordinance approving and authorizing third amendment for interlocal agreement between City of Houston and Harris Health System and Baylor College of Medicine. Item 41, ordinance authorizing and approving agreement with appropriation between City of Houston and Houston Land Bank. Item 42, ordinance approving and authorizing qualified hotel project and administration agreement between City of Houston, Texas and 401 Franklin Street, LTD. Item 43, ordinance appropriating $150,000 out of Parks and Recreation Dedication Fund, approving and authorizing purchase and sale agreement between Buffalo Bayou Partnership. Item 44, ordinance approving and authorizing purchase and sale agreement between Buffalo Bayou Partnership. Item 45, ordinance approving transfer of $5 million out of general fund balance to Park Special Revenue Fund and appropriating $5 million out of Park Special Revenue Fund for McGregor Park project. Item 46, ordinance approving and authorizing the City of Houston to execute and submit required materials, including an application and budget, to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. Item 47, ordinance relating to fiscal affairs of Old Spanish Trail, Alameda Corridors Redevelopment Authority on behalf of Reinvestment Zone Number 7, City of Houston, Texas, Old Spanish Trail, Alameda Corridors Zone. Item 48, ordinance approving and authorizing development, construction, operations, maintenance, and concession agreement between City of Houston, Texas and Houston Parks Board. Item 49, ordinance approving and authorizing First Amendment to Bayou Greenways 2020 Economic Development Agreement between City of Houston, Texas and Houston Parks Board, Inc. Item 50, ordinance approving the transfer of $5 million out of general fund balance to Park Special Fund for Sharpstown Community Center Project. Item 51, ordinance establishing the north and south sides of the 800 block of Woodland Street. Item 52, ordinance establishing the south side of the 900 block of Teachorn Street. Item 53, ordinance establishing the south side of the 4400 block of North Roseneath Drive. Item 54, ordinance establishing the north and south side of the 500 to 700 block of Canadian Street. Item 55, ordinance establishing the north and south side of the 41 to 4200 block of Woodley Street. Item 56, ordinance renewing the establishment of the north and south sides of the 800 and 900 blocks of Highland Street. Item 57, ordinance consenting to the addition of 6.875 acres of land to Harris County Municipal Utility District number 64. Item 58, ordinance consenting to the creation of Harris County Municipal Utility District number 584. Item 59, ordinance consenting to the addition of 0.9115 acres of land to Northampton Municipal Utility District. Item 60, ordinance appropriating $455,684.25 out of Water and Sewer System Consolidated Construction Fund, approving and authorizing an advanced funding agreement between City of Houston and Texas Department of Transportation. Item 61, ordinance appropriating $2,807,291.55 out of dedicated drainage and street renewal capital fund ad valorem tax, approving and authorizing First Amendment to advance funding agreement between City of Houston and Texas Department of Transportation. Item 62, ordinance making certain findings related to use by the Houston Public Works of approximately 31,838 square feet of land out of Black Hawk Park. Item 63, ordinance appropriating $22,600,000 out of Metro Projects Construction DDSRF, awarding contract to JFT Construction, Inc. Item 64, ordinance appropriating $2,966,330 out of dedicated drainage and street renewal capital fund drainage charge, $8,483,000 out of reimbursement of equipment projects fund, and $3,678,570 out of state HPW grant-funded dedicated drainage, awarding contract to Main Lane Industries Ltd. Item 65, ordinance appropriating $12,642,301.19 out of street and traffic control and storm drainage DDSRFA, and $5,314,000 out of water and sewer system consolidated construction, awarding contract to Main Lane Industries Ltd. Item 66, ordinance number 2023-1073, granting to AAA Flexible Pipe Cleaning Company, Inc., a Texas corporation. Item 67, ordinance granting American Sanitation Services, Inc., a Texas corporation. Item 68, ordinance granting to CSI Consolidated, LLC. Item 69, ordinance granting to A Plus Green Lane Waste Corporation. Item 70, ordinance granting to CZ Construction, LLC. Item 71, ordinance granting to Skoll Industrial Services, LLC. Item 72, ordinance granting to Latinosi, LLC, DBA 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Item 73, review on the record and make determination relative to the appeal from the decision of the sign administration on denial of an off-premise sign at 950 and a half Threadneedle Street, filed by Christopher W. Rothfelder on behalf of SignAid Ltd. Item 74 is a motion by Councilmember Castex Tatum, seconded by Councilmember Thomas, to adopt recommendation from Director Houston Parks and Recreation Department to adopt an up-to-date 2023 master plan, tagged by Councilmember Kamen, and this was item 14 on the December 6, 2023 agenda. Item 75 is an ordinance amending Chapter 47 of the Code of Ordinances, Houston, Texas, relating to water bill relief, tagged by Councilmember Kubash, and this was item 31 on the agenda of December 6, 2023. Item 76, ordinance amending revenue agreements with SSP America, IAH, ITRP, LLC, Parodies, Lagardere at IAH 2021, LLC, Latrells Galley, LLP, and Areas Houston, Areas HOU JV, LLC, for food and beverage and retail concessions at George Bush Intercontinental Airport, Houston, and William P. Hobby Airport, tagged by Council Members Gallegos and Kubash. This was item 34 on the agenda of December 6, 2023. Item 77, ordinance approving an awarding contract between City of Houston and Wingo Service Company, Inc. Item 78, resolution of the City Council of the City of Houston, Texas, authorizing the creation of Houston Complete Communities, a local government corporation, approving the local government corporation. This was tagged by Councilmember Kubash, and this was item 72 on the agenda of December 6, 2023. This completes the reading of the agenda for the City Council session of December 12 and 13, 2023. Stay tuned for the next session of Houston City Council, scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. In the words of the current City Secretary, Pat Jefferson Daniels, always treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
And have a blessed and fantabulous day.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have one more item, item 79, which was a supplement. Ordinance appropriating $10,070,505.23 out of Public Library Consolidated Construction Fund, approving and authorizing memorandum of understanding between the Buffalo Bayou Partnership.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
minutes after 9 on Wednesday, December 13, 2023. I'm Mayor Sylvester Turner, and I'm calling this meeting of Houston City Council to order. We're going to start off with the appointments, and Madam Secretary, if you will call them 1 through 8 and 19.
Items 1 through 8 need a motion, and the item 19 just needs a vote.
Castex Tatum move.
Second, Robinson.
Okay, I tell you what, why don't we take 1 through 8 first? So it's been moved and seconded on 1 through 8. Any discussion? Discussion in favor, opposed, granted. On number 1, if you're here, on all these, if you're here, please stand and come forward. 1 is dealing with the Houston Downtown Park Corporation Board of Directors, and that's Ann Bennett Stern. Is Ann here? Okay, we look forward to working with Ann. 2 is to the South Post Oak Zone. That's 2 and 3. 2 and 3, dealing with the South Post Oak Zone. If you are here, please stand and come forward. Carol Guess. Carol is here. Paul Jefferson. Tandalin Atkinson Weaver. And George Johnson. Okay, and this is also to the South Post Oak Redevelopment Authority Board of Directors. Carol, always good to see you this morning.
Good to see you, sir.
And thank you for your willingness to continue to serve, and really look forward to working, well, those who will be returning, we look forward to working with you.
It's a pleasure to work with you, sir.
Moving forward, so thank you. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Castex Tatum.
Carol, thank you for being here today, and thank you for the work that you've put in for TERS 9. We've got some great projects coming up in District K. We're really looking forward to the housing development and some of the other big projects that are happening. The residents are excited about the work that we're doing, and we know how valuable these TERS are. And we've got to have good people serving on these boards, making great decisions and overseeing the dollars, and really transforming our communities. And that's exactly what the members of TERS 9 have been doing. We're really looking forward to continue to work alongside each of these reappointments and continuing to transform District K. So thank you, and each of your colleagues for the work that you've done.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember.
Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning to everyone. Carol, just wanted to say thank you for offering yourself and your service to the City of Houston. You do a tremendous job in many different capacities, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you,
And Councilman McCammon.
Carol, I too just wanted to add my appreciation. We've gotten to know each other a little bit only recently, but I know you're going to do an outstanding job serving on the TERS. Our TERS are so critical for our investments in infrastructure, flood mitigation, and looking forward to all that you're going to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Councilmember Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor, and I also want to add, just a fantastic person, comes from a legacy family, doing great work, keeping up the name of her family, and certainly I thank you for your service. And I also want to say Tandalin Atkinson Weaver, even though she's not here, is a longtime friend of mine, and I'm just very excited for what everyone is going to do on that board. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
And Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations, Carol, and to Tandalin, who's serving on this board. Your commitment to economic development isn't just limited to your previous role with the Chamber, but also to this board. So looking forward to your service. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Okay. Thanks, Carol. Look forward to working.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
All right. And then on 4 and 5, they go together. This is TERS number 3. If you're here, please stand and come forward. Michelle Sabino. Keith Edward Ham, Regina Garcia, William Taylor III, James Harrison III, and Barry Mandel. Curtis, good to see you.
Good morning.
I want to thank you for your leadership and your continuing to provide your leadership to the city. Very much appreciate it, and the city looks forward to working with you as we go forward. Hold on one second, Councilmember Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. And Curtis, I echo the same thoughts and sentiments as the Mayor. We appreciate your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Curtis. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Now on C. position 6 and 7. This is to TERS number 24. And if you are here, please stand and come forward. Samantha Kialoha, Sophie Ruminette Elser, Michael Lyles, Conrad Joe, Yorman Kennedy, Sherifat Lawal Price, and Olga Yamos Rodriguez. Olga?
Lawal Price.
Oh, is that Sherifat? Did I get that
Yes.
right? Lawal Price. Well, thank you for your willingness to serve on this TERS 24, as well as the Redevelopment Authority as well as one of the Board of Directors. And again, the city looks forward to working with you.
Thank you.
As we move forward. And thank you for just stepping up and saying yes, okay? Councilmember Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. And Ms. Lowell Price, I also want to thank you for your service. We appreciate you putting yourself out there to contribute to the city of Houston. Thank you.
And Councilmember Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you so much. She has been such a tremendous partner to us in District D with her work at Unity Bank, and so looking forward to working with you, and we know that great things are going to come out of whatever you touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And see, that was, and then on 8. If you are here, please stand and come forward. This is to the Washington Avenue Corridor Advisory Committee. 6, position 6 is Julie Mabry, and 7 is Janice Goldsmith-Chucker. Good morning. Good morning. Is this Janice?
Yes, I'm Janice.
Janice, thank you for your willingness to serve on the Washington Avenue Corridor, the Advisory Committee. You know that there's a lot of things that's taking place along Washington Avenue. I'm sure you're fully aware. And so the city looks forward to working with you as we move forward. Let me yield to Councilmember Cameron.
Thank you, Mayor. Janice, first and foremost, thank you for stepping up to serve on this commission for the entire corridor, right, from a business perspective, a commercial perspective, and a neighborhood perspective. Beyond that, though, I do want to recognize the legacy that you're carrying on. Some of you may know Three Brothers Bakery, which is a staple around the city and, some of the best food in town, but I really just wanted to recognize all that you do, including through the Greater Houston Restaurant Association and in our restaurant community. So you continue to give back, you continue to serve, and we're lucky to have you.
Honored.
Thank you. And Vice Mayor Pro Tem Cash-Tech Tatum.
Thank you, Mayor. Janice, so good to see you. Three Brothers in District K is one of the best, absolutely. And we just really appreciate all that you do for the city of Houston, the service that you provide. I mean, you are a model for small businesses. The SBA knows it. The president knows it. Everyone that has read about the trials that the bakery and the business has gone through and the triumphs that you have made happen through that business is exemplary, and we appreciate you using your skills and talents to continue to help make Houston better. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Madam Secretary, if you'll now call item 19.
Item 19 is a resolution. Just need a vote.
We're on item 19. On item 19. Discussion on 19. Discussion in favor. Opposed. Granted on 19. And if this is Gracie Rodriguez to serve as a representative on the Harris Central Appraisal District. There she is. Grace, let me thank you, for your willingness to serve on the Harris Central Appraisal District, which is an important position, an important board. And city looks forward to working with you as we move forward, okay? So thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank
Mayor.
you. Thank you. All right. Having said that, let me some comments with regards to this morning. In terms of this is the holiday season, just as a health kind of note, Many people, and this is from Dr. Purse, are now making fun plans to enjoy the holiday gatherings and the New Year's Eve parties. Dr. David Purse, the Chief Medical Officer for the City of Houston, is getting I think that's a Novavax COVID-19 shot today. He also recommends that others do the same. I know I got my Moderna shot on Saturday. So COVID is still around, so you may want to govern yourselves accordingly and encourage other people to do the same. He also recommends a flu shot, and I've gotten my flu shot already, for every 6 months, and then a respiratory syncytial virus, RSV shot, for infants and people aged 60 and older. So please, he said, people with health insurance can visit their doctor or neighborhood pharmacy to get the shots, and even many grocery stores also offer the vaccines. So people without insurance or enrolled in a health plan that doesn't cover their shots can get the shots from their local health department. So people can still call the Houston Health Department at 832-393-4220 for more information. So please bear that in mind. Yesterday we had a fine press conference with the Fleet Department, Gary Glasgow, as well as with fire, police, solid waste, to talk about the equipment acquisition purchases that we've made since 2016 going forward. I will tell you that this administration has spent more than $531 million just allocated to replace vehicles, the fleet in the city of Houston, and we have placed well over 65% of the entire fleet under this administration, and that's including fire, new vehicles, police, solid waste. In fact, we displayed some solid waste equipment yesterday, as well as fire. And as you all can recall, when we started, we had 2 hazmat, and then after the Watson explosion, we've added a brand new vehicle, and those vehicles cost over $1 million. They had that equipment on display yesterday, so the city now has 3 hazmat units. We displayed the number of solid waste vehicles. I want to think that there were a couple dozen that have come in, and another 31 or 50 something, I don't have the exact number before me, that will be coming in before the calendar year is out. So overall, the current administration has provided for the delivery of more than 8,500 vehicles when totaling the number of delivered vehicles, the vehicles pending delivery, and the vehicle procurement. So if y'all can recall, when we came in, there were a lot of complaints about equipment failing, stopping, burning up, you name it. But you hadn't heard much of that at all recently. And that's because well over a majority of the fleet has been completely replaced. I do want to make the announcement that Jane Cheek, the City of Houston HR Director, has been appointed the 2024 HR Houston President. And HR Houston is a professional organization dedicated to the advancement of human resource management, and it has been around for more than 75 years. So Jane will be taking over that organization, so kudos to Jane Cheeks in a new position. Tonight, rapper and businessman Bun B will host the 50th anniversary of hip-hop music at the Deluxe Theater. That's tonight. The program will examine the music and its impact worldwide. And the music originated in the Bronx, but there's a lot of talented musicians right here in Houston. And so we look forward to being with Bun B at the hip-hop celebration tonight at the Deluxe Theater. Okay? And then the NFL announces its 2023 Inspired Change Makers for their support of social justice. Now, for the second consecutive year, the NFL and its clubs yesterday announced its list of 2023 Inspired Change Makers, individuals they identify as going above and beyond to transform communities. Well, I'm honored that the Houston Texans nominated yours truly Well, just now reading this. Well, let me just take it all in. And of course, they want me to play in the Texans game on December the 24th.
Quarterback? Quarterback? Linebacker?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. They just want me to show up. I misread it. I thought they were inviting me to play, but they just want me to show up on December the 24th. So, and let me thank the Houston Texans. And then on a sadder note, the Houston philanthropist Catherine McGovern, who all of us know, has died at the age of 90. And you're talking about someone who's been very, very generous to this city, to the Houston Zoo, for example. But president of the John P. McGovern Foundation, she died this month. She was 90. She leaves an amazing legacy as a benefactor of the South Main Alliance and the Houston Museum District, and has made transformative gifts to many of the organizations and causes that make our area the heart of Houston. So let's keep her family in mind, and today we will adjourn in memory of Catherine McGovern, okay? Now, please remind me. And then just as I wanted to say, there are a number of things on the agenda today. This will probably be the what I call the last big agenda, okay? With the exception of things that may be tagged and carry over to next week. But this will, I do not anticipate a lot of new stuff. If it is, it won't be what I call anything that's going to be, I would think, controversial, so to speak, or contentious. So for all practical purposes, this is the day, okay? Because next week is intended to be more of a celebration. Yeah. In fact, I thought it was going to be today, so I brought this bottle of wine, but they told me not to.
You want champagne? You want mimosas next week?
Right.
Mimosas.
But this is the last big agenda for today. I will tell you that when you factor in all of the items on the agenda, and let's assume that every item passed on the agenda, is where we are expending dollars, that the fund balance that we will leave and pass on to the next administration will be at least $417 million. That's if every item, every expenditure was made in this agenda today. And that's above what we budgeted when we passed the budget. Because if you can recall, when we passed the budget, we said it was going to be like $402 million. But if everything on this agenda passes today or next week, whenever it goes, the fund balance will be at least $417 million for the next administration. And the net position of the city will be $7.6 billion. And if you can recall, in 2016, when I came in, the net position of the city was negative $95 million. So we've gone from a negative $95 million to $7.6 billion in terms of the net position of the city. So feel real good about that, but I just wanted to highlight that because I know that there are items with cost on here, but to give you just so to put it in context, we said that we would maintain, if not go higher, and we are leaving a higher fund balance than even when we budgeted. So I wanted to note that. I think that covers it for me, and now we will move to the consent agenda.
Miscellaneous category items 11 through 13 need a motion.
Castex to move.
Second, Robinson.
Been moved and seconded on items 11 through 13. Discussion. In favor, opposed, and granted.
Under the purchasing and tabulation of bids category, item 15 has not been received and will be considered if it is received before the end of the meeting. Items 14, 16, and 17 need a motion.
Castex to move.
Second, Robinson.
It's been moved and seconded on 14, 16, and 17. Discussion. In favor, opposed, and granted.
Under the resolution category, item 18 just needs a vote.
We're on item 18, discussion. In favor, opposed, granted.
Under the ordinances category, items 20, 21, 24, 31, 40, 48, and 49 has not been received and will be considered if it is received before the end of the meeting. Item 36 has been pulled and will not be considered. Those numbers again are 20, 21, 24, 31, 30, I'm sorry, 20, 21, 24, 31, 40, 48, and 49 have not been received and will be considered if they are received before the end of the meeting. Item 36 has been pulled and will not be considered. Need a vote on the balance.
Discussion. In favor, opposed, and granted. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I get myself together.
Did we go over the ones that were squared or just the ones that were not in?
I probably didn't do the ones that were square.
Yeah, why don't we make sure?
Let me go back. Let me go back.
Because
Items removed for separate consideration. 23, 25, 29, 33, 37, 38, 39, 41, 42, 43, 45, and 50. Those numbers again are 23, 25, 29, 33, 37, 38, 39, 41, 42, 43, 45, and 50.
So you did not call 40. You did, so 40 is not.
40 is not in.
Oh, 40 is not in, I'm sorry.
Give us a nod in again.
The numbers not in are 20, 21, 24, 31, 40, 48, and 49.
And we're voting on the balance. So.
And we're voting on the balance.
The remainder, I should say. Okay. Discussion. In favor, oppose, and granted. Hold on 1 second.
Items removed for separate consideration.
Hold on 1 second.
Not in. So our not in person is on jury duty.
Okay, just right here.
She's on.
Okay. All
The
right.
not ins again?
No, that's from the top now. Let's go from the top.
We're going to the removed items?
Yes.
Okay, items removed for separate consideration. Item 9 needs a motion.
Castex Tatum move.
Second, Robinson.
Been moved in second on item 9. Councilmember Huffman on item 9.
Thank you, Mayor. This item, we're really excited about. This is the renaming of River Oaks Park to Pumpkin Park. And even before I was on council, I never knew it was called River Oaks Park. The community always called it Pumpkin Park. And so we have some fierce ladies in the audience, if you two would like to stand, who've kind of led the charge on this. And they engaged the community, took surveys. There was overwhelming support. Part of this park renovation comes this name change. And we're redoing the tennis courts with part of the council district service funds. And even if you go to Google and you Google Pumpkin Park, it takes you to River Oaks Park. So even Google knows that's what the park is supposed to be called. So we're excited for the name change, and thank you for all your hard work, ladies.
Thank you so very, very much. Any other? Oh, Councilmember Kamen, I'm sorry.
No, I too just wanted to echo my appreciation to the work of the community and Councilmember Huffman. We share the boundary along Westheimer, so a lot of our residents also use it. I grew up knowing it as Pumpkin Park. All the birthday parties that were there, the community events in the center, it was always Pumpkin Park. So the renovations are exciting. A lot of schools to use those tennis courts, Councilmember Huffman. So your funds are really going to a great use, not just for the neighborhood, but for our schools. And yeah, had no idea until I came onto council that it was not formally called Pumpkin Park.
Councilmember Alcorn.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you. So good to see you guys in the audience, and thank you for the significant private investment that's going into this park, Mayor. There is a lot of work that's going to be done on that at that community center, and thanks to Councilmember Huffman for her infusion of funds. And you know, this is called Pumpkin Park. It says there's this great pumpkin in it. It's this pumpkin carriage that's been there forever, and then it got sent off to be totally renovated. And we found that they found some company, I don't know where, I can't remember where, that renovated that pumpkin. And my kids have played in that pumpkin. It's Cinderella's pumpkin. It has a little thing, so it's the Pumpkin Park, and it's a great park. But just really wanted to highlight the good work of the community and the significant private investment that's going into this city park. So thank you for your efforts, and we're all really excited about this change that we didn't even know we needed, but we need it.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion on item 9? Discussion in favor, opposed, and granted on item 9. And that I did want to say, I forgot in the mayor's report, to congratulate all of these council members who will be returning next year. Councilmember Kamen, Councilmember Pollard, Councilmember Shabazz, Councilmember Huffman, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castek Tatum, Councilmember Tiffany Thomas, Councilmember Sally Alcorn, Councilmember Pack, Councilmember Plummer, and Councilmember Jackson. So all of you will be returning next year. Congratulations to each and every one of you. That's a solid number. I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Keep that fund balance.
10 will be of you will be returning. So all veterans. Oh wow! So congratulations to you've been battle tested. You've been through it for at least 4 years. Hey, yeah, no nothing to council here. So. So we wish you all the very, very best, and it's been a total joy in working with each and every one of you, individually and collectively, so all the best. And then to those who will be retiring and moving on, Councilmember Cisneros, Councilmember Knox, Councilmember Gallegos, Councilmember Robinson, Councilmember Kubosh, thank you all. Oh,
I'm staying.
Mayor Pro Tem Dave Martin, thank you all individually for your service and hard work and dedication and commitment for all of us, at least 8 years. Yeah, at least 8 years. From Mayor Pro Tem, 10? 11. For Councilmember Gallegos, 10. David Robinson?
Not quite 10 years yet, Mayor. It's I think we're 2 weeks short of 10 years.
Okay, and Kubosh?
10 years.
10 years. So, so veterans, each one. So a lot of knowledge and.
My hair's turned gray, by the way.
Yeah, but at least you still got some.
Yeah.
Well, y'all.
It's not turning gray; it's turning loose.
Well, hey, mine's gone. So thank you all so very, very much, and appreciate your service and dedication. So I wanted to acknowledge that. Of course, we have an event today at noon, I think. 11:30 noon. So hopefully, all of you all will be able to make it today. But thank you all so very, very much. Okay, next item.
Item 10 needs a motion.
Castex Tatum move.
Second, Robinson.
On item 10, discussion on 10, discussion in favor, opposed, and granted. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Castek Tatum.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to say that on yesterday I had my briefing with Houston First. It was a pleasant meeting. We really did hone in on how well Houston's visitor economy is going. and we've got some great plans for Houston First and all that is happening in our convention center area with the George R. Brown, and there's a great vision there. We've got some visionary people on that team. Our council liaison with Tracy Prince has always been just the wonderful communicator that she is, and then Frank and Jonathan. That whole team has just really kept us abreast of what's to come. But I was most pleased with how strong our visitor economy is in the city of Houston. And as we move forward as a city, that's going to be important for our budget with our tax revenue. Our hot tax is very strong. We're looking forward to being able to utilize those funds in the arts next year. So congratulations on making sure that people know about Houston. People want to come to Houston. Our list of conventions is steadily growing and getting bigger, hence the need for the expansion and the reorganization of George R. Brown so that we can have more conventions simultaneously. I mean, it was all exciting. So I'm very excited about our visitor economy and really advocating, all of us are, for people to come to Houston, spend their money in Houston, and enjoy our great city.
Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As I have 18 days left to serve on the Houston First Board, I wanted to recognize the chairman, Mr. David Mintzberg, CEO, Mr. Michael Heckman, the Director of Government Relations, Ms. Tracy Prince, and our CFO, Mr. Frank Wilson. It's been an honor to serve with you for my almost 11 years, 10 years on Houston First Board, working with Councilmember David Robinson and Councilmember Robert Gallegos. Y'all do a great job day in and day out, and we look for bigger and better things coming with the expansion of the convention center on the south part and making sure that we never give away an anchor hotel again.
Thank you, Councilmember Gallegos.
Thank you, Mayor. I too just want to say thank you so much to Michael and to David and to Tracy. It's been an honor and pleasure working with y'all these past 10 years in regards to Houston First. Proud to have Houston First in District I. I know with the redistricting, we're losing 2 or 3 venues, I believe, out of District I and going into H. But there'll be 2 district council members now that will be representing Houston First. So again, it's been an honor and a pleasure serving and representing Houston First and having y'all in District I. And y'all been doing incredible work here in the city of Houston, and I can only imagine what the future holds. So thank you.
Yeah, I didn't realize that all of the council members are retiring. Okay. Councilmember Robinson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to add some comments for the gentlemen who are here. For Tracy, I don't see you out there. Oh, you're behind the camera. There you are. And Frank, for you, the great work that you all have done. Like the Vice Mayor Pro Tem, I had a briefing yesterday. I want to thank Michael Heckman. Want to thank Tracy for bringing me up to speed on things. Mayor, since you gave your State of the City this year, and not only did you bring us up to speed about where we are today, you also unveiled a lot about the visionary look forward that we have around the Visitor and Convention Bureau. Colleagues, for all of those that the Mayor just mentioned who are returning, this is a brave new world, and over the next decade and a half or so, the east side of downtown is going to be further transformed in ways that my imagine is tested. And that's in a really exciting way, Mayor. Your vision, I think, has provided for some real broad thinking, and it's wonderful to see how flush we are. Again, Frank, kudos to you with and Mr. Mintzberg for your stewardship, leadership, and excellent oversight of the board. We're in an excellent position, unique amongst convention cities in the United States of America, and having returned from a convention that just hosted 70,000 people internationally, I can tell you that there is nobody better positioned to do something like that than the energy capital of the world, Mayor. So kudos to you, and thanks to Houston First.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody for being present. Thank you all. Okay, next item.
Item 23 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Tag.
23 is being tagged by Councilmember Alcorn. What happened to these?
23?
Kubosh tags.
Hold on one second. 20 and 21. Okay, 23 is being tagged by Councilmember Alcorn and Councilmember Kubosh.
Item 25 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 25. Discussion on 25. Discussion on 25. In favor, opposed, granted on 25.
Item 29 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 29. Discussion on 29. Discussion on 29. Discussion in favor, opposed, and granted on 29. Council Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Yes, Mayor, I'd just like to recognize Dr. Terrence Fontaine, who heads up this program, the aviation program at TSU. We talked about it a great deal yesterday, so congratulations, Dr. Fontaine. Looking forward to working with you.
And I too want to highlight this item here, the passage of it. We heard from the interim president of Texas Southern yesterday. Of course, Dr. Terrence Fontaine and others were here on yesterday. But I do want to just really emphasize the significance of this item. The aviation program at Texas Southern University, what will be taking place at Ellington Field, the build-out that will be taking place, the number of students that are already in the program, and the fact that it's attracting students from all over the country and even beyond. And really with this investment being made in the aviation program at Texas Southern University, I mean, it stands ready to be like the aviation school in the United States. So to Terrence Fontaine, thank you for your leadership on this. Let me acknowledge Mario Diaz at the Houston Airport, over the airport system, for his work, his efforts. Andy, who's participated in this effort, but a true collaboration. So I just didn't want this just to pass because it is an exceptional item that's taking place that's on this agenda. So kudos to everyone for making it happen. I can't wait to see what happens down the road. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Tatum.
Thank you, Mayor. I also wanted to congratulate everyone that's played a part in this. Director Diaz, in our briefing this week, really explained how this came about. And I know that the president of TSU was here on yesterday, and Terrence Fontaine is here today. This is a great project for Houston. I know that the Board of Regents was hoping for some additional funding from the legislature, and I hope that the investment that we are putting forth will help to amplify the importance of getting that funding from the state for this program. When you think about what's happening in aviation with the shortage of pilots, this is a pipeline. Many of the airlines have hired pilots that have come through this program, and this is what we're doing is accommodating 16 aircraft and about 7,200 square feet of teaching space, training rooms, a ramp, the parking and fueling facilities. We really are expanding the aviation department, especially with Spaceport and all that we have going on in the city of Houston. This is a wonderful compliment, and I just really want to say how important it is that we help Texas Southern as they are advocating at the state for that additional funding, because the city is putting our money in this program and partnering with TSU, and I hope that our state legislators know how important this is for our city as we continue to expand with NASA and Spaceport, and as technology continues to evolve, this is so very important. So I'm looking forward to the groundbreaking. Director Diaz said that he definitely wants to plan a groundbreaking for the new hangar. This is a $5.5 million investment in the city of Houston that I think we will all be proud of, and we'll see the fruits of this labor as we get more pilots into these airports.
Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. I, too, just wanted to add some commentary to this, and really thank you, Mayor, for your leadership, because since I've been on council, I consistently seen an investment in a priority in Texas Southern University. And at one point in time, it seemed as if the city was always or Texas Southern was always having to go to the state level to do anything. And it was always hard to get things done at the state level for Texas Southern. But now the city is doing its part to show that our investment and our priority in the university, and to, like the Vice Mayor Pro Tem said, hopefully it can amplify how we value Texas Southern University. But the fact that we consistently see partnerships with the university on our council agenda, and this body has been so supportive of the university, a lot of that credit goes to your leadership. So I want to say thank you, and thank you to everyone involved in this item, Terrence Fontaine, Dr. Sias, and everyone else.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's a big deal for the city, and I think all of our universities, it's important to have like some signature initiative that's associated to your university. You know, Rice has his signature initiative, U of H has his signature initiative. Now Texas Southern has a signature initiative, in addition to their pharmacy program, but the aviation program is really one that I think will produce dividends for years and years to come, especially at a time when we need more pilots, you know, because, I look forward to my afterlife, and I can see myself flying.
There's an age limit.
Is there an age limit? Well, I can watch them. I can watch them fly. Okay. So, really excited about it. Thank you, Terrence and everybody. All right, next item.
Item 33 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 33. Discussion on 33. We're on 33. Councilmember Kamen on 33. Okay.
Mayor,
Councilmember Robinson on 33.
please note that I'm going to step out and recuse myself.
Oh, okay. We're on item 33. Discussion on 33. Discussion on 33. In favor, opposed, granted on 33. Councilman Kamen on 33. You can tell Councilman Robinson he can come back in now.
He's not in timeout.
No, he's not in timeout. It was a short timeout for him. Councilman Kamen on 33.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this is the last public safety-related item that I'm going to be speaking on this term. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for the partnership, and as Chair of Public Safety and Homeland Security the past 4 years, despite all of the challenges that we as a city have faced, the progress that we have made, and the clear things in our community and with law enforcement that we can point to that have been accomplished. On this item, it's a significant amount of money for the renovations of what was currently, or a former evidence location that's going to be converted and modified and improved to accommodate 300 personnel and an additional parking garage for those personnel and for the permitting center. So while we're out in the community and making investments in the community, it is very important that we continue to move towards improvements for our own city facilities, for law enforcement, for public safety, and this is one of those items. I know we will continue to work towards a solution as it relates to evidence consolidation. That is something that is a big ticket item that we do need to keep working on, but I just wanted to spotlight this because it is a big renovation.
And it is, and this will be done, I think, in that Greens Point area. So this is a major deal for them on that northeast side. So let me thank everyone for helping to make this happen. And it's been a long time waiting. So that's on item 33. And now we turn next item.
Item 37 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 37. We're on
Tag.
Item 37 is being tagged by Pack,
I'll join that tag also.
Kubash,
And Martin.
Knox, and Martin. Oh, this is about the music. right, let us pause and have a moment of. I had to take another look at this and see what this was. All right.
Mayor, who all tagged this?
Huh?
Can you list who tagged it?
It's the people who tagged it are Councilmember Peck,
Morton, Knox, and Kubosh.
Okay. And, I feel like singing. All right. If by chance y'all change your minds, y'all just send me.
Just let you know.
Just let me know. Send me a note. All right. Next item.
Get something to do next week.
Item 38 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 38. Discussion on 38. Councilmember Kubosh.
Mayor, when we enter these contracts like this one, and that they sign a contract and then there's an increase, every time I've ever signed a contract to do something, I had to stick with my price. Is there a reason that's justified why their rate's going up? Why we have to pay them more? It was $6 million, and now they're wanting an additional $300 and something thousand.
Well, it's a printing contract where there's a 90-day extension, and we're adding dollars to it. Councilmember Kubosh.
It's extra work.
It's more work.
A lot of printing.
More work, more money.
Okay.
All right. Councilmember Alcorn.
Thank you, Mayor. And Councilmember Kubosh, yes, I asked about this too. This contract expired in November of 23. There was a 90-day extension option, so this is 90 days more. I asked about the amount, basically what's this going towards. They say a lot of printing associated with new council members, all of that, plus other things. Then there's already an invitation to bid that was issued for a new contract, and a vendor has been selected, and that contract will come in January of 24. So this is just a stopgap, and maybe we don't even spend this full amount. This takes us to February 27th. Yeah, well, we'll be getting a new contract in January. You won't, Kubosh, but we'll be getting a new contract in January of 24.
Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. Why is this coming back to council? The administration couldn't just on its own approve this increase?
No, we like transparency.
So
He is on a roll today.
So in order for us to increase the contract amount that council initially executed in 2018, they need to come back to this body just for that approval?
Yeah, I think you would have been mad at me if I had just done it on my own. So I trust you all. So we just like transparency.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Simple as that. It's my parting gift. Okay. Any other discussion on item 38? In favor? Opposed? Granted on 38. Opposed. Thank you. Next item.
Item 39 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 39. Discussion on 39. Discussion on 39. In favor? Opposed? Granted. On 39. I love the top dog services. Okay. All right. Snow removal. Yeah. Next item.
Item 41 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Well, item 41 is being tagged by Councilmember Knox.
Item 42 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 42. Discussion on 42. Councilmember Cisneros. I'm sorry.
I'll open for discussion, though.
Councilmember Cisneros on 42.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say I'm a very strong advocate for this project. I'm establishing the Houston First Convention Center at the Post, the former Barbara Jordan Post Office facility. This will help create an engine of economic activity in the northern downtown that will parallel how Discovery Green has revitalized the south part of downtown. So there are many benefits to the city, not the least to mention that it's at zero cost to the city. it will, because it will be the hotel will be a boutique convention center space, and it will allow us to be, for the city to be more competitive and to be able to recruit smaller conventions. There will be smaller convention opportunities that cannot be captured at the GRB. So. And as part of this, the little hotel boutique, that hotel will be there. Though I don't know who the company is. They've got their eyes on an internationally well-recognized boutique hotel with a focus on the creatives. So it's a market that we can really, I think, entice to come to Houston. And just once again to emphasize that there is no impact to the fiscal budget or no additional spending authority. Thank you.
Yes, and let me emphasize that there is no cost to the city. Primarily what's been done is that the state controller of public accounts has issued a ruling that the developer confirmed that the hotel will qualify as a qualified hotel project, and so they will get a state rebate, but nothing from the city. So this will qualify them to get the state rebates from the city, and then they will be building a hotel over there, and one of the floors will be given to the city of Houston for various spaces and things of that nature. So. Quite frankly, overall, it's a win. It's a win for the city. Councilmember Kamen.
Thank you, Mayor. I had posed a question previously on this item. I think it's terrific, but since I just wanted to comment, any project that the city is involved in, and I think it's great there's no cost to the city, but as there are improvements to a building that the city is supporting, to make sure that there are resiliency, energy efficiency, and potentially GSI opportunities that are incorporated into those renovations. So I just want to keep that at the forefront. The Post
Absolutely.
is a phenomenal example with its green roofs and all of that, but as this comes online, making sure that we have an eye on that as well, I think is really important as representative of the city.
And I asked a number of questions on this because this is not something that the administration, this is not a project of the administration. And Houston First wrote a letter to me supporting this project and asking for this project, because this is not my initiative. Basically, what it's essentially saying, they went to Austin, got the state Texas comptroller to provide the ruling that if they get approval from the city, it will then qualify as a hotel project, and they will be entitled to the state rebates. So, that's where we are. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Cash-Tatum.
Thank you, Mayor. My question was, so does every hotel that builds in Houston have the opportunity to go to the state and ask for this type of rebate?
If they can go in and seek to get it.
Okay, I'd like to join the tag.
Okay.
I'm joining as well.
This item is being tagged by Peck, Knox, Cash-Tatum.
Item 43 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
1 second. We're on item 43. Councilmember Cisneros on 43.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is a project that's happening in Second Ward, and it will establish a pedestrian and bicycle connection between the North and South Bank trails along Buffalo Bayou at Jensen Drive. I want to thank what a good partnership we've had, on other, building these trails with the Buffalo Bayou Partnership. This authorizes a sale using some Parks and Recreation Dedication Fund money to purchase a small piece of land that will let us connect the trails. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion on 43? Discussion. In favor? Opposed? Granted on 43. Next item.
Item 45 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 45. Councilmember Gallegos on 45.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, here in the item, it states that there is a $27 million that will be provided by an angel donor. Are we able to know who that angel donor is? I'm a little concerned that $27 million, where actually is that coming from?
The angel donor. What I would tell you is coming from an angel donor, and at this point in time, they want to continue to remain anonymous. At the time of their choosing, they will announce it. But I don't think the angel donor is going to be anyone that would offend you at all.
Okay, can you say that one more time?
I don't think there's, once you hear who the angel donor is, I don't think that person or entity is going to offend you at all. I believe we've been together now for 8 years, and I think that you will be fully okay with the angel donor.
Well, okay, I'll trust you on that, Mayor, since we've been here for 8 years.
Right.
but
it's not me.
No, I just want to state that I take pride that in my 10 years we have acquired or restored over 350 acres of green space within District I,
right?
And that's with partnerships,
right?
And that's with the 50-50 parks,
right?
And I do appreciate that. But as council member of District I would be remiss if I did not mention Mason Park.
I know.
Mason Park has been a regional park in the East End that has been neglected by the city of Houston. When I was a kid, I would go to Mason Park. Things haven't changed. It's changed because I placed district service funds to get from the north side of Mason Park to the south side of Mason Park to go over Brays Bayou. People had to walk on a 3-foot sidewalk that was broken on 75th Street. That bridge has been replaced by the flood control, and they've added a 5-foot sidewalk. But as president of the super neighborhood, I applied for a TxDOT grant because Joe Turner, the director at that time, they were doing 2 pedestrian bridges in Meyerland. And I called them and I asked them, why are they getting pedestrian bridges? And we've been asking for one at the East End. And he told me, well, council member, they're applying for TxDOT grants. I said, how do you do this? So I got Civic Club presidents, I've got the elected officials at that time to send letters of support. It took a while, but when my first year as a council member, we found out that TxDOT approved the grant, and we got a beautiful pedestrian bridge. I want to thank the Kinder Foundation for also adding monies to the pedestrian bridge. With my district service funds, we paid for 10-foot sidewalks around Mason Park. With my district service funds, we paid for lighting at the gazebo where it was pitch dark, where people couldn't even enjoy the gazebo. We have a clubhouse and a gym that was damaged during Hurricane Harvey, and it's been closed ever since. And I'm being told by the Parks Department it will open possibly in the middle or the end of 2025. Kids can't even go to the gym. The Civic Club can't even meet at the club house where they used to meet. They're meeting outside at the gazebo. These are things, and I see that Meyerland is getting $54 million, which is great. It's great. It's great to know that there's another park that's going to be improved. Yes, don't forget about Mason Park. It is a park, again, before I put monies of district service fund. Oh, let me not forget, when I presented we did a master plan. That was about $80,000 out of my district service funds that I had to pay for a master plan. There was never a master plan at Mason Park. I presented that to you, Mayor, and you said, great, I think this is great, but we're going to need partners. So I went out, got the YMCA, they came in, they did some improvements around the swimming pool. The pool was damaged, they put some money into the pool. They bought new furniture at the pool. They bought new seating for the lifeguards at the pool. They did a little office, satellite office, that we're supposed to be providing. Extension, please.
I tell you what, we're gonna put you right back. We're gonna put you back in the queue, Councilman Gallegos. But let me just respond directly to you. I hear you, and I think if you and I had a little bit more time, I think we would get it done. There's no question there's a need. We've been out at Mason Park. So I agree with you. And if we had more time, and hopefully with the veterans who are around the table and the incoming administration, I hope that they will exercise sensitivity to that as well.
And that's why I'm making my comments. Again, I have 2 weeks. I've tried for the past 10 years to do something there at Mason Park. But those that are coming in after me, I'm letting them know. Mason Park needs attention.
I agree.
Kids that play at Mason Park need to be able to go and play at the gym there at Mason Park that's been closed after Hurricane Harvey because it was damaged by Hurricane Harvey, and to find out that it's going to be repaired in the middle or end of 2025.
Okay. I hear you. We hear you.
I mean, and again, I appreciate the 50/50 parks. I appreciate the Kinder Foundation because they, again, gave funding to the pedestrian bridge there at Mason Park. We now have access to 2 sides of the park instead of traveling over a 3-foot sidewalk. So again, I'm just letting those know that are coming. I'm hoping that they will also work with the new administration in regards to redoing Mason Park. It's fine. It's way overdue.
And I think I have permission to announce the angel donor, and the angel donor is the Kinder Foundation. I mean, they have invested a great deal in Memorial Park, Discovery Green, Buffalo Bayou Park, and now they're doing the same thing here at McGregor Park, and so which is making it possible. I mean, this is a $54 million renovation. The Parks Board has been very, very instrumental in working this, and it has taken a long time. Let me just say this was not an overnight deal, Councilmember. This has been going on for a number of years. So it's taken years for this to happen, because and let me just say, and the angel donor has stepped up way before, just waiting on everybody else to come aboard. I'm just glad that we were able to make it happen. But it's not this, and again, you got the Buffalo Bayou East was taking place in that, and that's a $311 million project. Mason Park is in need, and we have a number of local neighborhood parks that are still very much in need of substantial improvement. So I hear you. I'm with you on all of that. But I do want to thank the Kinder Foundation for stepping up again, because of the $54 million, they're providing $27 million of that 54 for substantial improvement to the McGregor Park. Now let me yield Councilman Melvin Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor. Very excited about this. I actually grew up playing and going to the swimming pool at McGregor Park, and so, the upgrades to the Xena Garrison Tennis Center, the baseball field, historic center renovation, the swimming pool, a new amphitheater, community plaza playgrounds, event lawn, youth multipurpose field, and reconfigured parking is so very welcome. Just grew up watching the young people play in the park at the basketball court, and also looking forward to a pickleball court there, and so just very, very thankful that this is coming into fruition. Thank you.
Councilmember Abby Kamen.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I just wanted to join the chorus in highlighting how historical this is. For the city of Houston, I don't like to put it this way, but I don't know another way. It's a steal. We're putting in $5 million out of I believe, over $50 million complete, Andy's saying $54 million reimagination of a park that has, as the mayor said, been in the works for years. So I just wanted to note the importance of this item, especially from a fiscally responsible perspective of, as a city, we're putting in $5 million and we're getting a $54 million plus return on our investment. And Mayor, I'm grateful that we were able to announce who the angel donor is. So I see Guy in the audience. Guy, thank you for your work. the entire team's work, but especially to the Kinders for their unparalleled generosity and the difference that they are making for the city of Houston in all of our districts.
Thank you. Councilmember Robinson.
Thank you, Mayor. I think, first of all, Councilmember Gallegos, we hear you loud and clear. You have been not only the champion of District I and a champion of Mason Park. We have been there with you, but we also know you as the chair of the Quality of Life Committee, and that has had, for all of our years together on this council, primary responsibility over the Parks Department. And with things like the Parks Master Plan, you know as well as I do, and Mayor Turner certainly knows, that that applies to all parks across the city. So I think this is an item to be celebrated, not only for the great generosity and philanthropy of the Kinder family, who've been such incredible friends to this city, but in what it will do for your legacy at Mason Park, specifically in McGregor Park. This is absolutely incredible. This is the coming to fruition of plans that were laid so long ago by a vision that is so well established and embodied in the spirit of the community. As Dr. Evans Shabazz said, this is the pool she swam at. These are the tennis courts that Zena Garrison played at prior to getting to Wimbledon. Right. This is where our city comes together to represent the diverse neighborhoods. Yeah, we owe something still to Mason Park. There's no question about that. I just want to say that since the Kinders are out of the closet, everybody, nice, tightly kept closet there. But our friends, Nancy and Bill Kinder, Rich Kinder, are, deserving of appropriate acknowledgement here for what they have done to our city. And we are eternally grateful for that. I can't wait to see what's done at McGregor Park. And for that, I think we can all celebrate together. And in due course, I'm confident they're going to be bringing it to Mason. But that's for them to decide.
Well, I've never heard them described as being out of the closet, but I shall send them a note and tell them.
Thanks, Mayor.
But I love the expression. Councilmember Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor. In all my comments, I did not thank the angel donor, and so I want to make sure that they know how much we really appreciate that in District D. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Gallegos.
Thank you, Mayor. And don't let my comments be misunderstood. I'm very appreciative of the Kinder Foundation. I'm very appreciative of all the partners that are out there with the Parks Board helping to improve our green spaces. So, again, we celebrated this past Saturday, and again with district service funds, but with the help of the Parks Board and with the Kinder Foundation for a dog park, the Lawndale Dog Park in the East End. So again, I don't misunderstand or misinterpret my comments in regards to I'm not after the partners. I'm just asking for Mason Park to be improved as well.
Gotcha. Any other discussion on item 45? Discussion. In favor? Opposed? Granted on 45. Again, let me thank you for your support of this measure. So let me thank the council members, number one. Number two, let me thank all of the partners on this effort, the angel donors, the Kinders, the Kinder Foundation. So let me thank them for again showing their generosity. No one has to do anything. They don't have to do this. They can do so many other things. So simply want to thank them for stepping up. And quite frankly, they were at the front of the line. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the point that should be noted. They were at the front of the line. Mm-hmm. And then everyone else followed thereafter. But they were at the front of the line. I certainly want to thank Beth and the Park Board. Appreciate that. And all of the people who have given money that's been asked for by the Parks Board, and there are many different donors in that, but they've come up with a substantial amount. So very, very appreciative. And then want to thank the City of Houston, because Beth and I were just talking on Saturday when we were together about the collaboration that's taking place on these parks and these green spaces. And it does require collaboration, and I think in large part the city has done well in partnering with its partners to make these things happen. So this will be a transformational investment for McGregor Park, which all of us benefit, whether you live right in that area or not. I'm way on the north side, but we all will benefit because those on the north side have traveled to the south side to play at the tennis courts, for example. I've played over there and beat people on the south side who had the facilities and I didn't, but you know, talent is talent wherever it is. So it's a transformational investment, and I want us to thank you. And it is about leveraging the city's money. So Councilman Kim, you're right. For the $5 million that the city of Houston is given, the investment is $54 million, and that's huge. And then there will be another item, again, where we're leveraging, whether it's with the partners, with the county, you name it, to make it happen. So again, thank you all so very much for making.
We do still need to do 48 and 48.
Okay, Councilman Kamen.
No, Mayor, you said it. When I was looking in the audience, I saw Guy, but people were covering. I couldn't see Beth. So I just wanted to put an exclamation mark beside the partnership with the Parks Board, because they have stepped up in extraordinary ways, especially at least what I have seen as a council member in our district, and Beth is a District C resident, so I had to make sure to give her a shout out.
And I don't want to leave out the TERS. The TERS in the area as well. So let me thank the TERS. By the way, my apology, because without the TERS, and that is that TERS 7? And without TERS 7, Anita and the whole group, without TERS 7, and that's a measure coming up in a little bit, but since I was mentioning the partners, I can't leave out TERS 7, because it would not be happening without TERS 7. And then I can't leave out Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee, because $4 million of that is of the federal community grant that's pouring into this.
46
and that's coming up. That was 46 that we passed out earlier. So to the TERS, thank you so very much, and to all of the partners. And if I left out anybody, my apology, because quite frankly, it has taken every single dollar to make this happen. And I know Texas Children contributed under the Parks Board. So really appreciate all of them. All right, I think we're now going to item 48.
Yeah, 48 and 48.
Point of order, Mayor.
McGregor,
Yes.
Did we vote on the McGregor Park, or was this about Mason Park?
We just voted on 45, which is McGregor Park.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
These were not in, so if you want to do 48 and 48.
48 and 49 were not in, so Madam Secretary, if you go to 48 and 49 after that.
Item 48 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Tag.
48 is in.
You're tagging 48?
I just wanted to see those evil eyes one more time.
All right, we're on 48. That was good. You got me on that one. That was 48. Discussion on 48. Discussion in favor, opposed, and granted. Now the next one, 49.
Item 49 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on 49. Discussion on 49. Discussion on 49. In favor, opposed, granted on 49. Thank you very much.
That's everything from McGregor.
Okay. Next item.
He was just joking. Yeah.
Item 50 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Well, we're on item 50. Discussion on 50. Discussion. Councilman Pollard.
50.
We're on 50.
Tag.
Y'all are a hard
How
group
about
today.
amendment to move the money to Mason Park?
Y'all are a hard group. Y'all are a hard group today. Discussion on 50. Discussion in favor. Opposed. Granted. Again, on this item, let me thank Commissioner Leslie Baronis for their commitment from the county, and her commitment specifically from my precinct, $5 million. She's matching the city's $5 million on that. And then I think the TERS is also stepping up. So the TERS, Commissioner Leslie Briones, the city, and then if there's any additional amount, that will come from the outside partners and not from the city of Houston. So again, this will be a transformational investment in the Sharpstown area, because it will truly be transformational, and everybody in that sector will benefit as well. So, Councilmember Pollard, let me thank you for bringing it forward, and then the group that came and met and discussed it, and it has come with the support of with the vote of City Council. It is coming to fruition. So, Councilmember Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank you for your leadership on this item. The Sharpstown Golf Course and the community center around it hasn't been renovated in decades, forever. And that's one of our city golf courses. It is a revenue-generating golf course, but we need to make it attractive, not only for the people who play there, but for the surrounding community. This will be a state-of-the-art 37,000 square foot facility to replace the existing community center at the original location. It will be a two-story building which will incorporate 23,000 square foot first floor plan with a restaurant and a bar with an outdoor dining area, including a full commercial kitchen, catering area. The first floor will have a community center, administrative offices, a two-story grand lobby corridor with a banquet hall and outdoor event space. The second floor plan is for a 14,000 square foot area that will have a golf club, lounge, a bar, 6 golf simulator stations, as well as fitness rooms and exercise equipment. This is a partnership between not only the city but the county with Commissioner Briones' office, TERS 20. But I also want to give a huge shout out to Andy Icken, to Walter Hambrick, to my Chief of Staff Paul for all of the work that they've put into this project. As the mayor stated, this will be transformational. I always told District J I want to bring amenities to the area that can compete with the suburbs and the things that you see out in other areas of Harris County. And so I want to thank you all for your support of this. Councilmember Knox, we talked about this park when I first got on council on how it was in dire need of a facelift. And so this is that coming full circle. So thank you all.
And so, I mean, we acknowledge the TERS, the county, and a part of this project also is the community grant coming from Congressman Al Green. So he's contributing $2 million as a part of this project. So, it's all the partners that have come together to make this happen. So thank you all very much. Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to our colleague Ed Pollard, who's been working on this for almost 4 years now, and also to Paul Young, great chief of staff that keeps us on our toes and makes sure he has some projects that are everybody knows about. So congratulations, Ed. It's a great compliment to the golf course that you have out there. So every time I see one of these items, I always reiterate that you are the mayor's little brother, because it seems like you get all of the dollars these days. So anyway, congratulations, and good news to all the folks in Sharpstown that didn't vote for me, so thank you.
It just hit me. Now you took my thought away. Okay. And then again, let me reiterate that with all that we have done up to this point, that the fund balance continues to be at 417. So I want to underscore that. All right, next item.
Item 73 is a motion to review on the record to make determination relative to the appeal from the decision of the sign administration.
Okay, we're on item 73. And this is a motion. And let me just say, council members, based only on your review of the record, what the motion is there either a motion to uphold the decision of the General Appeals Board, or is there a motion to deny their decision? And then let me defer to Michelle for just further context.
This was an appeal that council originally considered back in March. It's a sign, I think, off of I-10 near the Shepherd area. They had gotten a relocation extension for a 10-year permit. They sought to extend it. It was denied. The sign code does not allow variances. They have filed a suit against the city. One of the claims that they're making is that the record before council did not include their written exceptions. We thought it better to address that issue by having council revisit. The record has the written exceptions in it along with the city's rebuttal, and I think that will eliminate that claim in the lawsuit. That's the purpose for revisiting this with council.
Okay, and a yes vote simply affirms.
Yes, if a motion to uphold the decision of the General Appeals Board affects the same action that was done in March.
Councilman Knox.
Thank you, Mayor. And this question, if I may, directed to the city attorney.
Sure.
So our function here isn't to discover the facts or make a finding of fact. It's basically to determine whether the sign administration followed their own procedures correctly. Is that accurate?
That's correct. It's limited to the record, and there are no variances permitted under the sign code.
So whether we agree on the facts or not, we can't vote on that. We have to just vote on whether they followed their procedure.
Essentially, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? In favor? Opposed?
And we're assuming the motion is
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve as brought forth on the agenda. Robinson.
To uphold.
To uphold.
Yes. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? In favor? Opposed? Granted. Show Councilman Kawash voting no. The item,
Pollard, no.
The motion, show Councilman Pollard voting no. The motion passes. All right, next item.
I want them to have
Item 74. Is a motion. We just need a vote.
We're on item 74. Councilman McCammon on 74.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, I want to thank the Parks Department for the extensive work they have done on the Parks Master Plan. If you've read through it, if you've seen the presentations, a lot of thought, a lot of effort has gone into this. Before you, and Mayor, you and I have discussed this,
yes.
Is an amendment to the master plan to add in a footnote to the plan specifically related to West Gray Multi-Service Center. How the park sectors are scaled and ranked in need is based on a formula, if you will, that primarily focuses on certain factors, including density, population, and other things. It did not, however, take into account specific centers that are the sole provider of services for the entire city. And that's what West Gray Multi-Service Center does. It is the hub for the entire region for disability services for our city and for their families. And I think it's important to note that the needs of the center are dire, but also that how the rankings are done does not necessarily recognize the unique services that are provided here. So this does not change the ranking. It does nothing but make sure that in writing as a city we are recognizing the significance of providing disability services at West Gray and that there are critical needs, including the expansion that is needed. So, Mayor, I'd like to read the amendment for the record if I may.
Sure.
So I move to amend item 74 as follows. The Metropolitan Multi-Service Center, also known as West Gray Adaptive Recreation Center, serves thousands of individuals with disabilities and their families from around the entire region annually through physical activity, sport, recreation, advocacy, and immediate access to health and supportive resources. Therefore, while this location is listed under the standard sector ranking system, the City of Houston recognizes the unique and regional significance of this community center. The building itself has critical structural needs, and an expansion of the center to meet demand for disability services is the ultimate objective of the near future. The center's reimagined project kicked off in June 23 and included exploratory meetings with elected leaders, community partners, and providers to expand the facility's services and adaptive programs. To date, 2 public town hall meetings have also been hosted through the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, as well as a paper and online surveys seeking input from the community, the public at large, and disability leaders. There is currently no funding attached to this project, and therefore it is recommended to be added to the CIP as a priority item and public-private partnerships explored for funding opportunities. So again, there is no fiscal note attached to this. It's simply recognizing that as a disability services provider for the entire city, we need to continue to look at options for how to make the improvements that are necessary.
And this would be added as a similar, like a footnote, to the Parks, Recreation, Apartment Adoption of the 2023 Master Plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the master plan. It's a second to the amendment. Oh, it's in writing. We don't, yeah, it's in writing. We don't, yeah, it's a table amendment. We don't need it. Okay. So the discussion is on the amendment. Councilmember Alcorn on the amendment. Councilmember Gallegos on the amendment.
No, I just wanted to make comments in regards to Councilmember Kamen.
Oh, that's
remark.
Yeah,
Okay,
amendment.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to join Councilmember Kamen on behalf of my brother Michael, who's intellectually and with intellectual developmental disabilities. I've gone to West Gray Multi-Service Center several times, and on the campaign trail especially, and to see the men's restroom. The men's restroom, it's in bad shape, Mayor. And these are individuals with disabilities, and they have to go into a restroom like that. This is something that we need to work on in the city of Houston in regards to hopefully a total renovation of the West Gray Multi-Service Center. So I agree with Councilmember Kamen.
And I will tell you that is the plan. The West Gray Multi-Service Center, as was indicated by Councilmember Kamen, is the hub for pretty much the entire disability community in the region. People come from throughout the city of Houston and even outside of the city of Houston to the West Gray Multi-Service Center. That's where the many of the events are taking place. It does need to be totally renovated. We've been working on that for now quite some time, but it is in desperate need of being renovated. We put some estimated costs on it to do that. So this is, by including the amendment within the master plan, it's another point of emphasis. But for the people with disabilities in our city and in our region, they are quite deserving of space that, respects them, provide them the dignity that they need, and the space that they need to exercise their full gifts and their talents. And quite frankly, the city of Houston being the fourth largest city in the world, we say we are diverse, and we talk about being inclusive, but it should be inclusive for everyone, and that's including people with disabilities. Now, the reality is we have some fine sports facilities in our city. But for people with disabilities, they're having to work out at West Gray. And then West Gray is also used as a voting location as well. So I strongly support the amendment, but quite frankly, we need to do more than that. It needs to be totally upgraded, renovated, rebuilt on the same spot. But it just needs to be totally upgraded. So again, I wish we had more time. Because we've been meeting with Director Ponce and his team and having meetings, but on this watch, the time runs out, but hopefully things move forward. People will get it done. Councilman Robinson.
Mayor, thanks. I think that makes perfect sense. And you said that this really is part of the plan to do what I think the amendments brought forward. I know Councilmember Kamen, as she brought the amendment around, said implicitly that she had the support of the administration. Makes all kinds of sense. And your point is it doesn't include any dollars, but it's
point of emphasis.
It's a point of emphasis. So I concur, and it is of utmost importance. So thank you.
Councilmember Kamen.
And Mayor, I was going to say this at the end of the, after we voted, but I do want to recognize your commitment. We have been working on this together. Director Ponce has been at the forefront of this, and I know he stepped out, but I wanted to recognize the Mayor Pro Tem because he started to get involved when he when we had teams coming before us that participate in athletics, competitive athletics, through West Gray Multi-Service Center. And the fact of the matter is, our athletes there don't even have a track that they can train on right now. And that is just one example of the many needs, right, that we are not meeting. That being said, Mayor, you have been incredibly supportive and uplifting the disability community. So I do want to recognize the partnership, and of course, Councilmember Gallegos, with your personal experience. Excuse me, your support has also meant a lot. So just wanted to thank everyone. Dave, you missed it, but I did thank you for the partnership on this project.
She brought your name up.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other discussion on the amendment? Discussion. In favor? Opposed? Granted on the amendment. Now the discussion is on the main item as amended. Councilmember Alcorn on the main item as amended.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilmember Kamen, for your amendment, and thank you for this report. This is really good work. And as an at-large member, it was really, really good to read through it to get kind of a citywide view of where we are. I was very impressed by the work done. Beth White, I see you out there. I know the Parks Board had a big hand in this. And our HPARD staff, I mean, this is a report. This is a joint effort to put this together. Really gets into the weeds of what amenities are needed at each park, how much those amenities cost, what the kind of vulnerability of the area is. We talk a lot about park equity. It goes through the park sector money that we often have questions about. It's a true roadmap for where we need to be making investments in parks. And there's been a lot of talk about parks. Guy, thanks again to the Kinders for the $27 million. Mayor, as I told you this weekend, the 50/50 Park Initiative is such an incredible legacy. It's really transforming. I mean, Freeway Manor this weekend, the two parks last week, really transformed those neighborhoods. But I just really want to thank the Parks Board and thank HPARD for a really, really good update to this master plan. A lot of great detail and a lot of work went into this, and I'm really eager to pass it.
Thank you so very much. Okay, any other discussion on item 74 as amended? In favor? Opposed? Granted on 74. Thank you all very much. Next item.
Item 75 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on item 75. Councilmember Kubash on 75.
Mayor, we learned a lot last week when the Public Works Director and the Administrator of the Water Department came before us. One of the things that really troubled me was that they said that 20% of the people that call have to wait over 5 minutes on the phone. That's a long time to wait. And I'm just concerned that, and I know we're all leaving here soon, pretty well, I say us, I'm leaving. We need to do something about making it more customer friendly when people call about their water bill. And that's been an issue for most of us that have served over the years here in council, is that there's such a difficulty in trying to report these things and to get back. But I was really happy to see that there's an initiative taken in this ordinance, and I will be supporting it. I was never opposing it. I just wanted to make sure I understood everything. Thank you.
Any other discussion on item 75? Any other discussion? In favor? Opposed? Granted on 75. Thank you all so very, very much. Next item.
Item 76.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. And so residents can expect immediately to see these changes now that this item has
That's
passed.
correct.
Wonderful. Good news. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it'll start taking place. And then in terms of people who have been, let's say, underbilled, instead of looking back 12 months, 24 months, we only look back 3. But if people feel like they have been overbilled, we look back 24 months. So if somebody, for example, was felt like they were overbilled 8 months ago, we can look back and make the adjustment. Or if they felt like they were overbilled at the end of last year, we can go back and take a look and make the necessary adjustments. People now can get up to 100% credit. And if there's a private leak and they make the corrections, let's say within 30 days, they get 100% credit. If they do it in the second billing cycle, they get a 75% credit. If they do it in the third, they get a 50% credit. And so, and people are not going to be told, well, the ordinance only allows $2,000 or something like that. That's been totally revised at all. So there are 9 specific changes that will address, quite frankly, I think the overwhelming number of those complaints out there. And that should help also to reduce the calls when people's complaints are being addressed. It should also help matters on appeal, because the ordinances have been revised. And then, of course, as we continue to deploy the necessary equipment out there on the streets, then you won't have the necessity to estimate these bills, because that's what's creating a huge volume of the complaints, where we're estimating and missing the point. So let me thank everybody for your work at whatever level, whatever you did, in terms of contributing. Really appreciate the support. But it takes effect now, immediately, and hopefully we'll see a decrease in complaints to the city. Okay, Councilmember. Councilman, you're done. Councilmember Kamen.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted, you talked about the retroactive nature of this, and I wanted to just point out, very rarely at council do we see items where we're able to go back to remedy a situation. The fact that we're able to do that here for our residents, for City of Houston customers, it's not only the right thing to do, but it's about the integrity of this and serving the people of Houston. So I just wanted to recognize the significance of the ability for us to go back to remedy and assist residents that previously we were not able to do, and thank the administration and council for these improvements. We have a lot of District C residents that are going to be very happy to be able to take advantage of this.
And let me thank Public Works and Director Carol Haddock and her team for also working on this matter as well and bringing the recommendations forward in this sense. Let me thank the council members for putting forth your amendment, codifying what Public Works have been doing. But all of that is now a part of the ordinance that we have passed. So I do believe that this will significantly help customers out there. And again, we are not in the business of charging people for more water than they use. That is not what we do. So that we're not in the business. We simply want to charge people for their actual usage and not anything more. Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. And this is a great ordinance that positively affects customer service and gives people the opportunity to rectify the situation. As I brought up last week, this does nothing to address the problem. So we have 10 council members that are sitting around this body come January 1. I'd love to see Public Works come up with a master plan with cost initiatives as how we fix the problem, because the problems will continue. And we will still pay water bills, and we'll still go back in arrears and compensate the folks for that. The problem we have is that we're not addressing the problem. So I would ask Public Service before December 31st, if that's possible, to give us a master plan with cost allocations as to how much money it'll take us to fix the water meter problems and to fix all the situations that we have that are causing us to go back and do this type of work. So I'd look forward to seeing that before I exit, and I'm sure the 10 council members that are here are going to continue to bring this up until we do have a fix. So thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Tatum.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited that we are moving forward with this. We've had a lot of discussion on it. Last week, we had a lengthy discussion of why this ordinance changes were important for Houstonians. But I still want to reiterate that I'd like to see something with the vendors for these parts. I still feel like the genesis of a lot of this water bill issues may lie in the parts of the water meters. And I know that we had a shortage of chips during COVID, and there,
I just still feel like we need to investigate if we have any recourse with the vendors that may have added to the complexity of our water bill issues in the city of Houston.
Thanks very much. All right, next item.
Item 76 is an ordinance, just need a vote.
We're on item 76 is being tagged by Councilmember Knox. All right, next item.
Item 77 is an ordinance, just need a vote.
We're on item 77. Discussion on 77. Discussion in favor, opposed, and granted on 77.
Item 78 is an ordinance, just need a vote.
Tag.
We're on item 78. 78 is being tagged by Councilmember Knox. Next item.
These items were not in, they have been received. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go to 79.
79.
Item 79 is an ordinance, just need a vote.
We're on item 79. Councilmember Geisels on 79.
Thank you, thank you, Mayor. I'm excited about this amendment. This is this item on the agenda. This is something that was brought to my attention back under the Parker administration. That when I went and toured the Julia Idison building, it was brought to my attention that space was running out in regards to the Hispanic archives. So reaching out to Mayor Parker, she placed funding on the CIP for an Hispanic Archive Center. And then working with you, Mayor Turner, you've also increased the funding in the CIP for an Hispanic Archive Center. So it's good to know, and I'm really happy and glad to know that we're voting on this before leaving office here. But with that said, I had asked Director Lawson several times that I would like to be included in regarding the because I was I had found out through the grapevine that they were looking for a location for the Hispanic Archive Center, and I reached out over 3 years ago asking to be included in this process, being the only Latino on City Council, and I was told that it was premature. They were looking at this site, and they were looking at 3 other sites. I asked what the other 3 sites were, and I was told that they were not able to let me know that information. So then I stressed again to let me know, keep me updated, and here we are voting on this location. Again, I'm appreciative and I'm glad that we are voting on this. But again, I reached out to Dr. Lawson a few months ago asking her to call me, and she never did until I brought it to your attention 3 weeks later. We had a virtual meeting, and she just sat there, not saying a word. Her 2 deputies were doing the talking. And I just want to go on record that there was no community input as to where this would be located. You know, we have David Contreras in the audience. He's a LULAC national historian. He reached out to me some time ago regarding LULAC archives. And if I was included, Dr. Lawson, in the conversations, we would not have lost out on maybe 100 boxes of LULAC archives. I understand that LULAC has worked out with Arte Público and the University of Houston for 100 boxes of national LULAC archives. I'm hoping it's not too late when we do build the Hispanic Archive Center that we can have those archives placed in the Houston Archive Center where they should belong. So again, Mayor, I want to thank you. I want to thank Mayor Parker for placing the monies in the CIP I'm excited that we are voting on this. I'm disappointed that Dr. Lawson, again, did not include me in these discussions. And we also, David Contreras, LULAC National Historian, has a committee of Latino and Latinas that want to be included in the design and the build-out of the Hispanic Archives Center. So I'm hoping the new administration will approve that committee so we can have participation in the design and the build-out of our Hispanic Archives Center. And again, thank you, Mayor, for doing this. Thank you for having this on the agenda. And again, I totally support this. Thank you.
Thanks very much. And we certainly wanted it on the agenda before you left and before I left. Councilman Cisneros left and everybody else, okay? Any other discussion on item 79? Any other discussion? In favor? Opposed? Granted on 79. Next item.
That were not in, that are in.
These are the items that were not in. They have been received. Item 15 needs a motion.
Please.
Move.
Second, Robinson.
Please turn to item 15. On item 15. It's been moved and seconded on item 15. We're on item 15. Discussion? Discussion. In favor? Opposed? Granted on 15.
Item 20 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Tag.
Can I at least ask why?
Well, I just want to make sure that they're not connected to the other one that I tagged, like 76, I believe it was. Are they the same board?
No, this is not the same board. This is a board that's within the advising the complete communities. That's the department within the city of Houston.
I'll remove my tag while I ask you a couple more questions, if that's all right.
Sure. I'm just trying to get an understanding.
Okay, the reason I tagged this is I want to make sure that, first of all, that we authorize the LGC that we're thinking about doing in the proper order. And I thought that this board was going to be the same board.
No.
Okay, so then these are two different issues.
That's correct.
This is basically ad hoc, not connected to the city as a partnership.
This is community. These are representatives appointed by members of city council.
Okay, in that case, I'll remove my tag. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're on item 20. Discussion on item 20. Discussion. In favor? Opposed? Granted on 20. Thanks, Councilmember Knox.
Item 21 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
We're on
I will
item
tag that one, though.
21 has been tagged by Councilmember Knox.
I'll join the tag, too.
I'm sorry?
I'll join the tag, too.
Okay. Along with Councilmember Pack. Okay. Anything else?
And item 40 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
1 second. Turning to item 40.
After 40?
Discussion on item 40. Discussion on 40. In favor? Opposed? Granted on item 40. Councilmember Kamen on 40.
Thank you, Mayor. I was wrong. This is going to be the last item I comment on related to public safety. Until next term, for this term. I wanted to really recognize the importance of this because, Mayor, you have championed the expansion of domestic violence services within the city. You and I, coming in with the pandemic, really got to work on a lot of this, and I want to recognize Meenal Patel-Davis. But thus far, with hospital-based case managers, and what that does for the public, in hospitals, if they're able to identify somebody who has been a victim or survivor of human trafficking or domestic abuse, there's actually a hospital-based case manager that can work and identify that and then channel them into services. Thus far, I believe over 340 survivors of human trafficking have been identified throughout the hospital system. Again, many of who are unstable, either physically or psychologically, following such a traumatic experience. And the ability for us as a city to step in to help get them the support that they need, the housing they need, the financial support that they need, is a win for everyone in our city. So again, I wanted to spotlight this because the work that the city is doing around human trafficking and domestic violence impacts every single one of us.
Thank you very, very much. Okay.
That completes the items on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I had a question, Mayor.
Okay. Vice Mayor Pro Tem, Councilor Tatum.
I guess item 31 didn't come in. I know last week the controller said he was going to have a meeting on yesterday with the legal team and the parties that be to consider certifying this issue. Did that meeting take place? Do you know if that meeting took place? Did we have any movement on this?
I know that there was a meeting with the comptroller and members of the Greater Houston Partnership and some other folks. But, Arturo, you want to comment on that?
Yes, I believe the meeting was on Monday. It involved the controller, United, bond counsel, both internal and external. Bond counsel working with the airport revised an affidavit, submitted it to him, and we're waiting to see if that's going to be sufficient.
So we submitted an affidavit to the controller to...
The controller had previously, I understood him to offer an alternative because he had not, what his position was, he had not did not have time to review it. He was exploring whether he could rely on an affidavit from airport for some of the representations. We had provided one earlier. At that meeting, it was revised based on the discussion that was provided to him, and we're awaiting his response to see if that's going to be sufficient.
This has nothing to do with whether or not the city is able to pay for this $150 million. The information has been provided to the comptroller, and certainly his role as comptroller is to certify whether or not the dollars are available, and the dollars are available. So the comptroller is acting outside of his authority. I've repeatedly said that. Everyone's been very patient with the comptroller, but the comptroller simply does not want this project to be finalized on this mayor's watch. That is quite clear, and that is why he's holding up this item. So, you know.
Well, Mayor, I had another question for the attorney then. Did we have to file an affidavit when we did something very similar with Southwest Airlines in August? We financed $470 million for Southwest Airlines. Did we have to provide an affidavit?
No, the affidavit,
comptroller had enough time to...
The affidavit is outside any requirement. It was just an attempt to reach an agreement on this.
Did we have to do a feasibility study when we did that one for Southwest?
I don't believe so. The feasibility.
Did we meet with GHP?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
The feasibility study is what we do as part of the master bond ordinance. It's only through that we do feasibility studies.
I guess I'm just a little confused because we've talked about the power of our visitor economy, and we have a company like United who sees how healthy our economy is and is wanting to invest $2.5 billion in Houston. And the onus of that financing is on United. And I'm just at a loss as to why the controller has not been able to certify this. And it just seems that the timing is questionable, and it seems really personal. And I think that it's doing a disservice for United. It's doing a disservice for this council. It's doing a disservice for Houstonians. And I wish that the controller would certify this project so that we can move forward and United can. We're not talking about just modernizing a terminal. We are 90 to 95% replacing an existing terminal at the airport, which is good for our economy. We all talk about how we're going to bring money into the city. And this is another way for us to strengthen Houston's economy. I just don't understand the holdup.
Well, I can be a lot more blunt, but I choose not to be. It's the holiday season, but he's not being called out like he should be called out. He is abusing and is outside of his authority. But we don't call him out. In fact, people give him the benefit of the doubt that he's operating within his authority, and people come ask me. Mayor, is the money there? Okay? So at some point, you just have to call it what it is, okay? And he intimated that eventually this deal is going to happen. Just not going to happen on this administration's watch. And who knows, he may be a part of the next administration. You know, time will tell. Okay, having said all of that, let me regain my positivity.
Joy to the world.
Well, in fact, we could have that being sung at the airport.
There's no harmony in that air.
All right, we'll pick that up next week. All right. AARP is here. They were going to make a presentation. If you are here, before we go to the pop-up, if the members of AARP, if you'll come forward. I think it's Rosalinda Martinez, Dexter Handy, Jennifer Wandry, Paula Johnson, Juanita Soto, Eddie Owen, and Chandra Weigel. Chandra, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for having us. I'm assuming that was okay for me to start. I'm joined here by my colleague, Rosalinda Martinez, who's the manager for the Houston and Austin area. I'm going to do AARP first. Jennifer Wandry, who's my colleague here in the Houston office, and Juanita Soto from our national office now, and Eddie Orem, who is our executive council member for AARP Texas. And then, of course, we have Paula Johnson, who you know very well, who's been very instrumental in some of the work that we've done around age-friendly livable communities. And then we have Dexter Handy, who's been leading a lot of walk audits for us. He is with the CTC Coalition, also the Houston Complete Streets, and he is now an official AARP volunteer. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you for having us, and I'd like to present you with this award. It's basically thanking you for all of the amazing work that you've done. You turned a project, one of our national projects, Age-Friendly Livable Community, into an executive order. I remember that date very well, August 27, 2019. Thank you for doing that, along with a whole host of other things, from Vision Zero, climate action, multimodal transportation, livable communities, and walkable places.
Thank you so very, very much. Thank you.
You're not eligible. You ain't old enough. You're not eligible. You ain't old enough. Now, me, on the other hand, I got my AARP card. I got my AARP card. They give you a free membership then?
Okay, we're going to start on the pop-up today with Councilmember Peck.
I'll pass.
Oh, you passed. Councilmember Kamen.
So I'm not going to pass because I don't get to give my thank yous to everyone next week. So, Mayor, as we talk about ending on a positive note, I just wanted to thank my colleagues. There's so much that we've accomplished together the past 4 years. Councilmember Evan Shabazz, early on we worked together to eliminate contracts with TDCJ that were doing unpaid prison labor, something that should be prohibited in the state of Texas. Councilmember Huffman, we've worked on streets together, our parks together. Councilmember Cisneros, your commitment to our youth, to our children, to our families in the city of Houston is inspiring, and we'll continue to carry that torch for you. since she's leaving, I'm going to give a shout out to Vice Mayor Pro Tem Castex Tatum, thanking her for her leadership, working with me on camera policies, lighting ordinances, and things of that nature for safety. Vice Mayor Pro Tem, or excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem, you and I agree on more than we disagree. And while our battles are notable, you were the one that supported me with my tax disparity study. And there are so many things that you have come forward that we have been able to work together on, including West Gray. So for all of it, I just say thank you. The love is real, and I've learned a lot from you. Councilmember Gallegos, thank you for your leadership when it comes to especially a lot of things, but especially stalled trains, something that impacts my district, but you have been the voice on this. And what we have seen in terms of that transformation in large part is thanks to your advocacy and your leadership, and it's been a privilege to serve as vice chair under you as chair of quality of life. And Councilmember Robinson, your leadership at TPC is the infrastructure guru on many things, but especially working together at TPC is something that I not only respect but have really enjoyed. So thank you for your partnership there. Councilmember Thomas, your leadership, not only for your district, but in housing. You are the housing know-it-all. Any question I've ever had, you've been on top of, and thank you for that and working with our staff on that. And Councilmember Alcorn, not just my office neighbor, but the work we did also with Councilmember Peck when we first came in the first few weeks with Mayor the Watson plan explosion. Changing the ordinances where we could to protect neighborhoods further, especially focusing on hazmat. But I would be remiss if I did not just mention, oh, holy cow, the sound ordinance. And that took years, but again, that I could not have done that without you and your leadership through the committee. So thank you for that. And of course, Councilmember Peck, many things we have worked on, but even getting ditch maintenance going. You've always fought for your district and been a huge proponent through our Public Safety Committee, so thank you for that partnership. Mayor, there's a host of things I could list off that I've accomplished, whether it's paid parental leave and pregnancy wellness leave, gun lock and gun safety initiatives, and firearm injury initiatives, the expansion of the domestic violence services our city provides, the transparency efforts that we worked on within HPD and law enforcement, millions upon millions in infrastructure and flood protection. You know, we say 7 federally declared disasters in 6 years. And whether it's a flood, a global pandemic, the freeze, police reforms, all of the challenges that we have met and you have met head on, I don't believe that this term has been defined by our disasters. But the response and the resiliency should absolutely be noted. But what I think stands out under your leadership is the fact that despite all of that and what we accomplished in those responses to meet the challenges, it's what we did on top of all of that. The technology upgrades and improvements, the resources and support for public safety, the expansion of our green spaces, the land bridge, the PGA golf tournament at Memorial Park, the incentives we're creating for green stormwater infrastructure and resiliency, expanding recycling services. I could go on and on, but the fact of the matter is it has been an absolute honor and pleasure to work with you. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve in the way in which I have been able to do. I forgot to recognize Councilmember Pollard. It has been an absolute blast sitting next to you. I'm almost done. And I want to recognize my staff, who is absolutely incredible. So thank you to my District C team. I want to thank all the departments. But above all, I want to thank our District C residents, because they are the best there is in the city of Houston.
Thank you very, very much. Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. Tomorrow, I want to highlight an event that is happening at the Houston Museum of African American Culture. They're having their annual Champagne and Ribs fundraiser. And the museum is located at 4807 Caroline. It is in the District of Destination, District D. And the Champagne and Ribs is a time to set aside and increase awareness about the Houston Museum of African American Culture while raising the much needed funds for supporting their mission and vision. Mayor, they do an extraordinary job of really highlighting African American culture around the city. It's a welcoming event for all and an educational event for all, but also a really good time. So I encourage people to go online. I put some information on my social media accounts for you to purchase tickets. It is a fundraiser. We do want to raise funds because they use those dollars for all of their programming throughout the year. So I encourage everyone to come out and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Councilman Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor. On yesterday, we had the Turnaround Houston Job Fair in Sunnyside, and it was a phenomenal success. It's a landmark event as the last job fair of yours, Mayor Turner, your final term. The Signature Initiative is coming full circle in Sunnyside where it began, and it was just not a success in terms of attendance and engagement, but it also significantly contributed to our community's economic empowerment. And witnessing over 40 employers come together to provide opportunities, particularly to those facing unemployment or underemployment challenges, was truly heartening. And a special shout out to Jesse Rubio for his outstanding collaboration with my office. His efforts were instrumental in making this event a resounding success for the Sunnyside community. The Emancipation Avenue Main Street program, I was delighted to join the conversation. This event focused on equitable revitalization for business owners and provided a platform to discuss critical issues like Lots to Love and 340 funding. It was an engaging and insightful session, and I extend my gratitude to the Emancipation Economic Development Council and Ken Rogers for the invitation. Third Ward CUNY Homes Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant Project event. It was my honor to participate in the Third Ward CUNY Homes Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant Project event at the El Dorado Ballroom. This event was a crucial step towards securing a $50 million grant aimed at enhancing affordable housing, neighborhood improvements, and supported services in the Third Ward. The community's engagement and valuable input at this event was truly inspiring. We'll have an upcoming event on Saturday, December the 16th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 3517 Reed Road, which is by the Johnson Library. It's going to be a holiday food fixings, and we're always excited to host this. It was last year that I think we implemented it in partnership with HEB, the Houston Public Library, and several local organizations. We're looking forward to bringing festive joy to our community with a special focus on supporting our seniors and children. This event embodies the spirit of giving and unity, which is in the heart of District D, and it's going to be really good. Also, I want to again highlight the Environmental Career Worker Training Program, which will provide licenses and certifications. This free training starts on January the 16th with a weekly stipend. And please reach out to my office to get more information. It's an opportunity for careers, environmental careers, and I would love for people to participate because that's how we change the quality of our lives. And Mayor, I'm going to just sign off for the District of Destination in certain gratitude that I will be able to continue my service to the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Cisneros.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 days ago, the City Planning Department issued a media release with some updates regarding Vision Zero, and I'd like to talk about that. So, as you know, in August of 2019, the mayor signed the Vision Zero executive order committing to end traffic deaths and serious injuries on Houston streets. People deserve to be safe on our streets, whether they're driving, walking, biking, using a wheelchair, or riding transit. So I want to read some from the media release and point out that that pedestrians represented 36% of traffic deaths and 16% of serious injuries. And that every intersection that has been redesigned under Vision Zero has shown improved safety metrics. Along segments of roadways that have had Vision Zero aligned safety improvements that reduce conflict between road users and or support safe vehicle speeds, the annual number of crashes with injuries has decreased by 26%. And all annual crashes on those corridors have decreased by 19%. No one using a protected bike lane was killed. My own commitment to Vision Zero and the goal of ensuring traffic safety for Houstonians is evident in how I have prioritized funding and safety projects advanced over my last 8 years in office. I have invested heavily over the last 8 years in road safety projects that improve safety for all road users. I have also invested heavily in safety projects that are now fully funded but yet to come. Unfortunately, I won't be here to see that, but they are coming, and I wanted to just briefly say what some of those things are. There are 12 speed cushion projects coming. There are 5 intersection safety projects around Moody Park that are coming. There are 7 pedestrian safety improvement projects that are happening at intersections on Houston Avenue. A major one that is under construction right now is at the intersection of Washington Avenue and Houston Avenue, and there will be 6 more smaller ones on further north on Houston Avenue, north of I-10. And also, there are 2 significant bikeway projects that have taken a long time to come, but they will be constructed next year as well. My investment in these projects that we don't see yet but are coming has been $1.7 million. For future projects. But it gets better than that because regarding the bikeways, on Parker Road, for instance, I put in $240,000, and the city has leveraged that money, through grants and other opportunities to make that a $1.5 million project. The bikeways that will be happening on North Main that begin at Boundary and head north to Airline, I invested $235,000. The city has leveraged that money, and that will now be a $1.5 million project. The investment that I've made in support of Vision Zero for work that is yet to be constructed next year is $4.2 million. It's funded work that will be completed in 2024. I regret that I won't be here when the projects are completed, but I am so pleased that they are happening. Thank you, Mayor.
No, thank you very much. Thank you for your work and the investments that have been made. So thank you. Well done. Councilmember Gallegos.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to start off by thanking the Parks Board and the Kinder Foundation in regards to making it possible. I did, like I stated earlier, put some district service funds into a dog park in the East End, the Lawndale Dog Park. We had groundbreaking this past Saturday. It's anticipated that they will start construction in the first quarter of the year. So we're excited about that. And again, I just want to thank all the partners to make this possible. I want to thank all the residents that came out with their 4-legged family members. It was a great day. We had a great time, and the weather did cooperate that morning. So again, thank you for everyone for making this possible. I also want to congratulate all the council members that were reelected. I want to congratulate all the new council members that will be coming here coming January. And I also, of course, want to thank or congratulate Mayor Whitmire for his election as well. Before being a council member, I was a community leader, and I will continue being a community leader after I leave office. So they will be seeing me. So in regards to projects or things that are affecting our community in the East End and in District I. So thank you.
They will see you and hear you. Councilmember Robinson. Thomason.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that's true. I just would like to add my congratulations to all of our colleagues who've been reelected. It's great news for the city of Houston, to all those new council members, and of course to your successor, Mayor. May Mr. Whitmire do excellent things for this city. I'm very optimistic. And Mayor, I'm proud to have worked with you, proud to have worked with Anise Parker, but these last years have really been extraordinary in thinking about those, I think, famous 7 federally declared disasters that you served under. Thank God there wasn't an 8th this year. We've got a few weeks left, so God willing and the creek don't rise, we've got 16 more days or so for that to bear out. I know you've said it, that we're going to work right up till December 31st at 11:59 p.m. And in the spirit of that, Mayor, you and colleagues may have seen that we had a TTI committee meeting scheduled for yesterday that got not canceled, but postponed until next week. We've got 3 items on the agenda, and we're going to be seeing it on Wednesday afternoon. That's the 20th of December at 2 p.m. after we gavel out next week. It will be an update and year-end report from Houston Public Works. So there's a lot to cover in that one item alone. We're going to be hearing a federal update from your Office of Government Affairs and Relations with Bill Kelly and his team reporting. And finally, we've just heard from the Harris County Flood Control District. They will be presenting on MapNext, the flood risk mapping tool that I think is going to be a great asset for all of us throughout the region. And then finally, I think with thanks to Councilmember Kamen for her nice remarks about TPC. Mayor, I'd like to, beyond my own staff, beyond your staff, I'd like to call out to the great support that I've had these last few years, 6 years that I've been the chair of your Transportation, Technology, and Infrastructure Committee since the late, great Larry Green passed away. But to your staff in particular, in the Planning Department and Public Works, by name, I'd like to single out Catherine Summerlin, David Wardlow, Veronica Davis, David Fields, Fabio Capillo, incredible work, and of course Director Carol Haddock. Those folks specifically have been great help to my team, my staff, my Chief of Staff, Diana Caicedo, and for all of that, thank you. Final note, Mayor, this Friday after our last TPC meeting of the year, there will be a BAHEP-sponsored Southeast Texas Transportation Update. It's titled Rural versus Urban, and that's with Baytran, BAHEP, and the Economic Alliance Port Houston. There's a panelist, there's a panel discussion that I'm a part of with Commissioner Justin Beckendorf, who's my successor as the chair of TPC, or we presume he will be with the slate of officers coming forward, as well as your chair, Sanjay Ram. And that panel will be moderated by Pearland's Mayor Kevin Cole. So I think it's going to be exciting, nice way to wrap it up, and we're going to keep going, Mayor, right up to that last moment. So thanks again for all your leadership.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you. I don't like change, so I'm not going to necessarily share what I want to share. So I'm just going to go into my pop-off comments. Okay. I do want to thank you for the Brays Bayou ribbon cutting on Saturday. My chief of staff held it down for me, and thank you for singing happy birthday to Barbara Quattro. She was shocked and surprised. She was complaining about the date because she was committed to planting her trees. She was like, I got to plant my trees. And so she wasn't necessarily focused on the ribbon cutting, but she definitely was excited about it, and we appreciate her efforts, your efforts, the Parks Board, and everyone that joined. We are excited, and we have a community team that is working on a bike ride to experience those trails, so we're doing that. And then I want to bring back to your attention, and I know you said we're going to work until December 31st, so we're going to work. My chief of staff was riding down Town Park, and I've mentioned this months ago, and it's turned into a street market on Town Park.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
We have expended dollars to West Side and Midwest HPD. We've done everything that we could do. The video that my chief shared, I mean, they're selling mattresses, tools, food. There's nothing, I don't know what else to do. The apartment owner is frustrated. Public safety is frustrated. We've had individual conversations. I want to share those videos with you so you can see what's happening. And they're taking up a small block. However, it's impacting traffic, drainage, trash, noise, all of the above. And so I do want your attention on that. I'm looking forward to gathering my thoughts at our last council meeting so I can give you your flowers, and then all of my colleagues as well. We have done a lot over these last 4 years. I thought the winter freeze was going to take me out. Not having water, busted pipes, and then serving other people in the midst of your own issues. But every time that the city was met with a challenge, we stepped up. And so thank you for your vision and your leadership. And I think the city will continue to see the seeds that you've invested long after you're gone. We'll be able to reap that. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I look forward to working with all of the new council members. And thank you I'm going to miss Councilmember Gallego saying, and I'm asking the Solid Waste Department to call me. I'm going to miss it. Nobody goes off like Councilmember Gallegos. But I appreciate all of your service and look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thanks. Councilman Malcolm.
Real quick, we passed those water reforms today, Mayor. We're excited. Our water bill at our house doubled in September. So I had George, I've been asking a lot of questions about customer service. I'm like, say your last name real quick. I don't think anybody knows who we are anyway at the water department for sure. But I want to read to you. I said, document what all happens. So he said, after going through the prompts, I was connected to an agent very quickly. Agent's name was Danielle, very nice and informative. Asked about leaks in the house, toilets running, hoses left on, sinks dripping. Gave me all the meter reads, electronic reads, not estimates for our meter from June to November. Looks like the meter gets rid of the 17th. She offered to send a technician to test the meter, and she offered financial support package that included putting the account on hold, blah, blah, blah. He just goes on to say how nice she was, how quick it was, how solutions were offered. And so I've been asking a lot of questions about the culture of customer service. I had a meeting with the new head of customer service and water billing. And I think this is just a good example of hopefully the service that people are going to get when they call the water department. Most people's interactions with the city are just with the water department. I mean, they don't really mess with much else. I mean, we know all the people that mess with the other stuff, but the majority of people, it's their water bill or maybe the trash. But so kudos to Danielle out there in water billing. Thanks for being so nice. And another thing that we reported last week, one of my staffers reported a light out, like when she was going to lunch. By the time she came back from lunch, the light was fixed. So we're getting stuff done here at City Hall. So thanks to all the city employees that are working so hard on these issues.
Thank you. All righty. Thank you all so very, very much. And we stand adjourned in memory of Catherine McGovern. Thank you all so very, very much.
And I'd like to also take a moment to acknowledge and thank some of them.